Thank you. Thanks to their thought-provoking presentations, we could hear the voices from Asian Pacific region, and we need to face up to the reality and work on together. Right. Actually would like to express our sincere gratitude to all of you here because we're already six yesterday and today. Thank you very much for your active participation. And I hope this forum could be a great opportunity to improve and protect our the human rights on the elderly people and the senior citizens in the world, including Korea and Japan and many different European countries as well. Thank you very much. All right, we have the last part for this forum, the third ASEM forum on the human rights on elderly people, the older persons. Okay, for the last part, I would like to invite Chairperson of the Board of Directors of ASEM Global Aging Center, Dr. Hye-Kyung Lee, for the closing remarks. Please welcome her with a big hand.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, colleagues and friends, those who are present at the forum and those attending online. First of all, I would like to thank the National Human Rights Commission of Korea and the EU delegation to Korea for co-hosting our third ASEM forum on the human rights of older persons present and future. I also would like to extend my deepest gratitude to all the organizations, keynote speakers, presenters, discussants, moderators, and guests who have made great contribution in various ways to make this forum a great success. And finally, I'm very thankful to the staff members of the ASEM Global Aging Center who have made every effort to make this forum meaningful event in support of the human rights of older persons. I feel truly privileged to witness the successful establishment of the ASEM Forum on the human rights of older persons present and future as a signature event, not only for the AJC, but also for ASEM and the global communities that are concerned with the human rights of older persons. We started hosting the ASEM Forum on the human rights of older persons for the first time in 2021 under the theme of the protection of the human rights of older persons in emergency situations. We, after a great success, with much support from various stakeholders, we hosted our second forum under the theme of the human rights and mental emotional health of older persons in 2022. We are now at the closing ceremony of the successful third forum under the theme of aging in place. It is remarkable to see AJC's national, regional, and global networks having been expanded and its influence in the field having been strengthened for the last few years. AJC has always been attentive to the pressing issues around the world concerning the interest and well-being of older persons and try to translate them into a source of further thinking and motivation to search for the new solutions to enhance the rights of older persons. For the last 2 days, academic researchers, representatives of international organizations, and civil society activists came together and discussed key issues around the topic of aging in place. Aging in place is defined as living in the community independently while being connected to the social support and services. Many now consider aging in place as an alternative to aging in facilities or family care, which are costly to governments and burdensome to family members. However, aging in place should be realized from a human rights perspective, because it is the older persons themselves who desire to stay and die in their homes and communities where they feel most safe, comfortable, and connected to friends and families. Realizing aging in place contributes to realizing the UN principles for older persons, which are independence, participation, care, self-fulfillment, and dignity. At this forum, 3 sessions have been held on the theme of aging in place. In the first session, academic researchers based in Sweden, Australia, Singapore, and Korea introduced and discussed how aging in place has been understood and implemented in these respective countries. We have learned what issues are at stake and what efforts have been made in these countries to assist aging in place. In the second session, Civil Society Talk Concept, Aging in Place was assessed from a civil society perspective. Civil society group representatives from Ireland, Thailand, Hong Kong, Spain, and South Korea has introduced their best practices and initiatives implemented at the grassroots to realize aging in place. And in the third session, the discussion on aging in place was extended to dying in place. Scholars from Turkey, the UK, Japan, and South Korea discussed the debates and policies around dying with dignity or well dying with reference to a number of countries from Netherlands, Belgium, Switzerland, Germany, the UK, India, Japan to South Korea. I believe the cases introduced and the issues discussed at the 3 sessions provide novel insights and references on which many other countries will be able to draw to find applications to their own countries. This year's forum was unique in that the final session was held as a special session with the UN SCAP. We should be alert to the fact that aging is proceeding very rapidly in the developing countries. WHO has projected that some 80% of the world population over age 60 will be living in low and or middle income countries in 2050. UN SCAP noted that by 2050, 1 in 4 people are projected to be aged 60 and over in Asia and Pacific. In the face of deep demographic changes, UN SCAP has been actively engaging in and addressing the issues of aging and the human rights of older persons in the region. AGAC is very much honored to receive full support from UNSCAP in organizing the special session at the forum over its Asia Pacific Report on Population Aging 2022, a report that AGAC has translated into Korean. The participation and the support of the UNSCAP and alongside 3 discussants at the special session have made a great contribution to the forum, making us more aware of the extent of aging in Asia Pacific and of many best policies and practices that have been introduced by countries across the region. I believe that this session will offer an opportunity to enhance mutual learning between countries in Asia and to link aging, the human rights of older persons, and international development in new ways. Through in-depth discussions of 4 sub-themes of the overarching themes of aging in place, we have come to appreciate even more the validity of the human rights-based approach to ensure older persons' dignified lives. While the world is facing new challenges posed by new demographic configurations that humanity has never experienced before, a human rights-based approach provides us the principle with which we seek new solutions. Aging in place from a human rights perspective reiterates that older persons' access to health services, decent living, and social participation are the part and parcel of their enjoyment of human rights. I'm very much delightful that our third ASEM Forum on the Human Rights of Older Persons, Present and Future, can make an important contribution to highlighting this point. And having seen growing interest and concern about the rights of older persons, particularly after the COVID-19 pandemic and the historically unprecedented pace of global aging, I'm very hopeful to see that an increasing number of academics, researchers, national policymakers, and civil society groups recognize the importance of human rights-based approach to aging and actively disseminate this idea. AJC will continue to work hard to fulfill this mission of advancing the human rights-based approach to aging and improving the lives of older persons. Once again, I thank very much the organizers of this wonderful event and all the participants for engaging in candid discussions. We hope to see you all again next year at the fourth forum in our global endeavor to create a world where no one is left behind and deprived of being able to live a dignified life. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you, Dr. Lee, for your warm message. All right, this concludes the third ASEM Forum on the Human Rights of Older Persons. For 2 days, we've learned a lot about some problems and reality related to aging population. And I truly believe that we can find a great ways to protect human rights of older persons if we work on together. Thank you, everyone. I was Sejong Park. Thank you.